everyone, I'm Ellie and welcome back to another episode of Aloha to You. Today we're going to be featuring Tropical Creations, which is Hawaii's largest Hawaiian jewelry manufacturer on the island. And when we get inside, we're going to check out some of their designs and we're going to get a sneak preview of how they actually make their jewelry. So let's go inside and check it out. When you're looking for Hawaiian jewelry, you have to make a stop here at Tropical Creations. They have the best prices, it's handcrafted, and it's just really special and reflects the Hawaiian culture.
Hi, my name is Sean, and this is Tropical Creations Jewelry Manufacturing. We're one of the largest jewelry manufacturers in the Hawaiian Islands, currently with about 50 employees and thousands of designs. As you can see, we have a large showroom with windows into the factory so you can watch jewelry being made. Carry everything from silver to gold, and we have a lot of affordable pieces, and we have a lot of pieces that, you know, if you want something custom, you can have it come in and have it custom made. We also do online ordering, so you can visit our website at tropicalcreations.net. From there, if you're in the Japan area or you're in the mainland, you can place an order and it'll be ready to pick up when you get here. It usually takes about 10 to 12 business days. So we've teamed up with Hilo Hatties, and you can now get on their free shopping shuttle in Waikiki and actually take it to the Dole Cannery where our factory is located.
So Tropical Creations actually made an exclusive line here, and it's called Sadako Sasaki Collection, and is inspired by the origami crane, which is when you have origami paper and you just fold it precisely, and it takes a lot of time and effort, but it's really beautiful when it comes out. And this is the jewelry, and it's a really pretty collection that features the origami crane. So this is actually one of my favorite designs from Tropical Creations. It looks like a regular plumeria, but in the back, you can actually put the scented oil, which is a plumeria scent that they give you when you purchase it, and you can constantly just smell the beautiful aroma, and you'll feel like you're just taking Hawaii wherever you go, and it's just the perfect gift.
So each piece of jewelry that we make has a mold. Each mold is either starts off as a piece that we hand designed or a piece that was cut by a CAD computer. So what we'll do is with that mold, we'll inject it with wax, and it creates a replica of that mold. So you're able to do large quantities at one time of the same design over and over and over again, and that's part of the lost wax casting. And as you can see here, they're attaching them to the trees and finishing up some of them. But you'll attach each one individually to the tree, and then from this point it'll go into the casting room to get casted. So after your tree is made and all your pieces of jewelry are put on, we do a process called investment. So we'll take the tree, we'll cover it with a flask, and then from that point we'll fill it with plaster and harden it. So you're initially making a mold of the wax that's inside of that plaster. Once you're finished with that, it kind of looks like this. And from here is where the casting really begins. You can see the wax tree is still in the bottom. So what we got to do is take that wax out of this mold. And that is done by burning it out with steam. So as you can see, what used to have wax in there is now all melted out. And once this process is finished, we'll put it in the oven to harden a little bit more and get back to temperature for casting. We take our gold mixture, so for example, this tree here, we have our gold weighed out for the amount of gold that we're going to need to fill that flask that had the jewelry on the tree. So he's putting the gold inside of the furnace to get it melted down so it's able to be injected into that cavity that we created with the plaster. So now the casting machine's ready to cast. We're going to take the flask that's had the wax burned out of it, and we'll insert that flask into the casting machine, and then it'll vacuum suck the gold that we put in there into that cavity and create a tree, an exact replica of what we had made in wax. So we gotta let it cool down a little bit, because if you throw it right into the water to cool it down, it'll crack. So from here, we're gonna wash out the mold. So we quench it. So, as you can see, what was once wax is now gold. And this is where the beginning of the cycle of this one will go into production. The next step will be to cut these individually off this tree and start hand working them till they're finished and looking pretty. So we also use a process to pre-polish jewelry without having to use compounds or rouges. And what it is a magnetic tumbler. So these are a bunch of little tiny metal pins that basically hammer the metal instead of rubbing it off. And they take off some of those imperfections that come out of casting. When it first comes out of casting, we soak the jewelry in like an acid to basically take off any of the plaster and any of the impurities that were put on there either by soldering or from casting. They'll get put into the tumbler, and then they'll start looking a little more shiny, so when they do go to the polishers, they don't have to use as much pressure and not wear off the design. It basically helps keep the integrity of the design. So once the pieces are casted, they come out and they look very rough. So what we'll do is we'll start filing them down and sand finishing them up just to get them some of the texture off of them, because when you cast, you don't have a really smooth surface. So you're gonna have to polish them up. So what he's doing here is he's using a sanding wheel to take off some of those imperfections and to get it down to where polishing will be a lot easier and not as require as much effort. So as you can see, this one's really dull. It just got finished getting sanded down a little bit and getting ready for polishing. And this piece is just one that's just been polished. So you can see the difference of how shiny it is, and it's starting to look like a piece of jewelry now. This is where we do bench working. So once a piece comes out of casting, some of them require components added onto them. This one's going to be an earring. So this lever right here is something that has to be soldered onto each piece after it comes out of casting. You can see it's still very dull. It hasn't been polished. It's just one of the pre-steps that we do before we polish. So for Hawaiian heirloom, we basically start off with a piece of wire. It's a very plain looking thing. From there, we'll cut a name onto it depending on what the customer wants. This machine here is what cuts the name. This is the only step in the process that's actually done by machine. The rest of the heirloom process is done by hand. So this is basically what this machine will do. Once it's shaped like this and ready to go, it comes over for engraving. Each one is like a masterpiece. After it's shaped, this will be all engraved by hand. And you can see this one has a name, and it has the black enamel inside of it. We do a couple of different styles, but this is the most popular and the most traditional style. So another part of the texturing process and making it kind of look a little different is sand finishing. So what he's doing is he's using the pneumatic tool that he used to engrave. He just changed the bit on it, and now it's more like a pinpoint. So it's stippling the background, and it's giving it, some texture, and it's taking away that high polished look, because if you just have something that's completely high polished, you don't see the design in it. You have to start getting some different textures in there in order for the design to really stand out. and what it looks like once the sand finishing is put behind it. The name actually starting to stand out a lot more than that. So another technique we use to kind of create different textures and looks is diamond cutting. And basically what it is a flywheel that's spinning at about 8,000 RPMs with a small little diamond at the tip of it, and it shaves off a little piece of the metal every time it touches it. So as you see here, this is one that doesn't have any diamond cutting done to it, and this is one that does. So you have that sparkle, and it kind of looks like there's stones set into the thing, but it's really not. It's just a really thin piece of metal is taken away, and it's left with a high polished accent. So another process that we do is sand finishing, and what she's doing is she's basically painting the design onto it with wax, and then we'll sandblast it. And once that's done, we'll spray it off, and what wasn't covered with wax will have a little sand finish texture to it, and what was covered with wax will remain high polished. So you can get like a different look. So you can see the difference in what the design looks like with just a simple added step of detail to it.
I want to thank Tropical Creations for having us. It's really exciting to just go back behind the scenes and seeing the drillers kind of create the masterpieces and seeing what's behind the showcases. I would like to thank all of our viewers for watching our videos, as well as following us on Instagram to get some updates and some photos that we post. You can follow us at Aloha to You Hawaii. And you can also subscribe to our channel, which makes us really happy if you click the button below. And until next time, remember,
Aloha.